Galore, so Tommy Town National East. So we're back again with our 68 T100C with its custom lowrider handlebars. No, we're not going to leave them like that, of course. I am far more comfortable working on the likes of that than working on a motorbike. But look, God loves a trier. So what I noticed when I was taking off the fork, the fork leg axle caps, is one of the bolts, this one specifically was butchered in the past. You can see the threads aren't good, and there's a nyomp taken out of it as well. So what I'm after doing is I'm after having a look through my Imperial bolts, and I came across this lad here, and what I'm after doing is I'm after retreading them there. The reason why I put a nut on it is when I cut it to length, what I do is I keep the nut down further, and then when I screw it off, it just tidies up the last few threads. So I've just done a little bit of retreading on it there. You can see the fresher thread. Just a bit. My dirty hands have taken a bit of the clean look off it, but that should do. So these ones are good here. The one on the left is good, and I'm going to cut that to length. So what I'll do is I screw this back on below the level where I want to cut, put it in the vise, cut it, and when I screw off this, I find it just, it's very hard to cut with a hacksaw straight, so I find just screwing that off over the very end of it just tidies up the threads and makes it go into the fork leg a lot easier, or into whatever you're putting it into. So I literally line the two of them up, take my measurement, cut, screw that off, and then I can even tidy it up again then with the die. The rest of them are good, but that one is just, it's the wrong thread, and it was butchered and over tightened probably, but the threads in this seem to be good. So that bolt that we have here, I just tried screwing it in to the fork leg. I made sure that I'm just working on the hole there that has had the bad bolt in it. And this, as you can see, screws in right up, it bottoms out there. So I'm happy with that. Literally no issues at all. It's just too long, which is exactly what we want, because it's better having it too long than too short, because too short is going to be an issue. So we can cut that to length now, and we'll tidy up the top of the bolt with a file, and screw off that nut, and that should tidy up just the leading thread. And if we have to, then we'll just run it through the die one more time. But I find when you cut them with the hacksaw, it usually leaves a little bit of a nib on it and a burr on it, and it can be hard to get the die onto it, and you can end up cutting the wrong threads. So the other one has another different bolt. It's not the correct one as well. I might have to do a bit of work on that, because it's just a little bit stiff. It did screw in, obviously it was in perfect because we took it out, but I'm just not 100% happy with it. I probably should have ordered 4 of these bolts, but look, I think we can work with what we have here, considering we're after fixing one already there that's going to go in lovely and easy. So it's just down to this lad here, so I might just play around with the tap and the die and see how things feel. But we'll come back when we have a little bit more to show. So on closer inspection of this, it was just the first few threads that were given bother, and once we clean them up, it literally flies. So just a matter of time to just studying these things and just seeing what's going on. But it looked to me like it was just the first few threads that were maybe at one point slightly damaged, and now that we have them tidied up a little bit, it does seem to go in very happy by hand. That's what we want. I've picked out some good spring washers as well, because these are the kind of bolts now that you're going to want spring washers on to stop them getting loose. So, and regular checks as well with spanners. So we just labelled this side as the front left when you're sitting on the bike. Yeah, looking over there, yeah, front left. So that'll make it easier. I like to put everything back, same side. It probably makes a difference. It probably has to be put back on the right side because of this. Maybe it doesn't, but anyway, I'm doing it. I'm labelling them anyway. But yeah, I just thought that was something that I would just mention in the video. It's not the right bolt in that it's threaded the whole way down. I don't know about the strength of it. It's the tense, whatever you call it, the tensile. I can't really read it, but it's Whitworth is what, and it should be Whitworth. 26 threads per inch, I think, was the thread pattern for up to some point late 1968, and then they changed to the more standard UNF Imperial with 24 threads per inch. Is it late 68, 69, something like that, so it's hard to know, but that's Whitworth. And I know these seem to be new. Whitworth is this thread pattern a CEI or something, but I know it's meant to be 26 threads per inch. It is slightly finer than the usual UNF Imperial that I'd be working on. That would be 24 threads per inch. But I think someone, if you ask me, has rethreaded these in the past just a little bit. No, they're not too bad. Maybe they didn't. I just thought there for a while they were loose, which of course I was probably feeling this lad here, which was unfortunately after getting a bit of a butchering. But anyway, that is that. Obviously for the safety of the bike, keeping the axle on, it's important to have them. So let's see where we go after this now. Okay, so we did a bit of manufacturing here on the other bolt, and it's cut to the right length, it's threaded, and everything is a-okay. So after it, when I got the Hagen shocks fitted on the bike, well, this tool came with it for adjusting them, so I'm after just modifying it slightly there. You can probably see that I had to just tin it and just deepen it a little bit, and what that does is fits in this hole here, and I put down a rubber strip just to save damage in this, because I'm reusing this. I'm going to put metal polish and all that, getting that little bit of rust off there. Stainless, so it should, most of it should come off, nearly coming off my finger. So I am watching videos. My dad is actually doing the same job on his 1966 Tiger 90, and I've been talking to my uncle as well, who restored my granddad's one, their father's one, their 1967 Tiger 90. So I had to give it a crack of a hammer, but it came apart easy, thanks be to God. So we'll clean up all them threads. Might just get the Dremel. I tape this off actually first so I don't damage it, and just actually put a nice little soft wire brush on the Dremel and just clean up them threads. I don't know where these are the original ones, but there's fair metal in them. Okay, I think is that nearly off, or is it still coming? There we go. So there's a bushing there. I'd like to see that bushing. I can see the seal come off that bushing actually, if possible. There's a seal in the bottom. I think these are called the seal holders. We'll be able to tap it out anyway. Okay, should be a bottom bushing and a castellated nut, and I have the tool on the way. Alright, so we have damper sleeve. Okay, very interesting, and that helps slow down the oil coming out, and the oil helps, by slowing that down, it helps dampen the the shock, will say, if you go over a bump or something like that. So I have the tool coming for this castellated nut. We have to get this bushing off as well. So that is that. Sleeve holder there. Okay. Interesting here. The hole in there is just a little bit off center, so that helps obviously slow it down a little bit more then as well. So we've got a circlip on there, and this is obviously, that'll probably come out with the castellated nut, I'd imagine. Okay, I wasn't sure whether there was something else in there, the bottom, that I had to take out, but we'll find out now. Let's wipe the hands and have a look up. But, it came apart surprisingly handy, thanks be to God. One crack of the hammer and it was off. I did try and use this strap, lad, here that you put around a filter, and then you wind it up then with your ratchet, but it just kept slipping out because it's such a shiny surface. But no, that Hagen tool only for it, because I did try and buy the proper service tool and it was out of stock. So that is after working a treat, so it is. Okay, so I have the tool coming for taking these castellated nuts off. Someone had used, as you probably see there, a bit of a sharp edge, adrift before. So I've just literally tried giving it a tap of a light hammer, and it's starting to move. So I don't think we're going to go damage now. We'll use the tool for putting it back on, but we'll be able to also go over any of the damage that was done there before and tidy it up a bit with a file. I know it's probably fairly hard, but I will do our best. Just tidy it up a little bit. It's not going to be that important because it is actually a lot narrower than the bushing. It's not as if it's going to be going scratching the fork leg or anything like that. Okay. Right, so there we go. We have this lad here. So I didn't order new castellated nuts. Based on all the videos I saw, they're usually fairly good nick. I know the previous owner said that he was in here at some point, so, or he was told someone else did it in the not too distant past, so it all looks good. It's all just going to get thrown into the parts washer, but that's all right. There's a small bit of damage on that one there, but we'll look. I think it'll work perfect. Other three are untouched basically, so apart from the tapping I did in them, and that wasn't excessive as you heard yourself. So I presume this actually doesn't have to come off because we have new stanchions there. So this is all, that can all stay as is. Actually, I just realised I don't have to go tapping that off. Let's have a quick look at the condition of this. Remember, we were expecting a seal to be going along here, so it's not too bad to about there. There's like 3 kind of steps on this here, step 2 and then step 3. It's like this little bit here was the bit that was seldomly rubbed. We'll say, like if you went over a hard bump, we'll say it might have flexed the spring that much maybe. There's a shinier bit there, but all in all, I didn't have an eye leak. The seals look fairly good, in fairness, in the seal holders. They don't look too bad. Yeah, they feel fairly good, yeah. Now I have to work out whether this is a washer there. It's meant to be a big flat washer, or is that the back of the seal. I have a new washer ordered, and And this heavier washer was in here as well, in front, fitted in just on that lip there, and there's a slot then for tapping out the seal. So that's what we'll do next, is we'll tap out the seal. That's where that lived anyway. I've cut a bit of timber there lately, so there's a bit of sawdust here. Probably should have tidy things down, but everything is going to go into the parts washer, and we'll bring up the workshop vac and just hoover and brush everything off here. But yeah, I suppose what we'll do is, there's a slot there, we'll just get a punch and try and punch him out. Now we're reusing these, so I'm trying to figure out where this, I don't want to damage it, there's only timber underneath it, so I would imagine we should be okay. Is my punch, no, it isn't too wide. Okay. Trying to figure out still if that's a washer. Might just spray a bit of WD around it there and get it soaking down around it. Just help things. Better if it was a slot each side. Only seems to be one. Right, there's your answer. It is washer. So that's okay. Perfectly usable again, but I have new ones. So I just looked at the parts diagram and that, and I thought that was small and that would be in there. I just said I would order them rather than be stuck without them. Okay. Yeah, they're the same style seal as the new ones that I've got, that kind of goldy finish to them. I wouldn't say they're in there very long, but we're definitely going to replace them when we have new ones there in the box. So. Just trying to figure out are things moving at all. They run the Dremel in around it, but it doesn't. It's a bit dirty, but it's not. I can't imagine it's actually going to stop it coming out. Maybe we'll just get a better fit of that punch down the slot. It's like it's bouncing off something. It's probably the rubber it's bouncing off. It's starting to come there anyway. There's a spring from it. So. It's a little bit. There's no. Let's have a look at the new seals. I think there's no hard face on one side. Yeah. So that's what we're hitting against now, instead of a nice metal, which would be grand for fitting, but it'll be harder to get it out because it's going to just bend that lip. Yeah, it's kind of just running in behind it. Yeah, might need something a little bit sharper to get in behind that. So I'll have a play around with that. They will come out, of course. If I was to do a kind of a crossways here. Maybe that's the way to do it. Make sure I'm not damaging this. Might just put down a bit of cardboard underneath that. They have an old clutch box. Yeah, maybe just going at an angle might help. Hit the front hard, see? It's a strange one now. But I'll play around with that and we will get him out. Hard to know if it's moving or not. But anyway, I'll come back when I have him out. Okay, seal out. I'd say it seemed to have been doing its thing, to be honest. Don't think there was anything wrong with that. So a bit of a rubber strip just to save the finish on it. At least one tap of the hammer. Bang bang. And off she came. This one doesn't look great now. Wow, that is pitted. Holy God. Oh wow. It just seems, if you ask me, defeat the purpose really. Why you'd fit new seals when the stanchions are so bad. So damper sleeve there. As I'm taking this off, I'm just going to make note of one end is a bit wider than the other, so we'll just see which way that was. The wider end in there is a bit of a lip, was at the bottom, so I'm saying that to record it here, so I'm asking the question later on, asking myself the question. I know what way it goes back on. Okay, someone gave this the same treatment, thankfully. Well, 2 slots got a bit of it done to 3. Doesn't matter, it'll be fine. So that isn't great now. Wow. Holy hand of God. Catches the fingernail there, no bother at all. So these will all go into the parts washer. I was going to do them separately. A bit of sludge. So yes, in that bucket there, this is an old degreaser, bucket of degreaser wipes. Keep everything separate. So we'll set up the parts washer, throw in a pair of gloves and we'll give them a bit of a bath. Right, scrub it done. Nothing to do with it having a handle on it. We might get down with a needle nose pliers or something. We'll do that again. Awful handy machine. When I was buying this parts washer, there was 2 parts for sale, and the man's daughter put the parts up, and she put the wrong price on this. She put the price she put on this was the price he wanted to get for the other part. So I arrived anyway with that money in my pocket when I got it, but it wasn't exactly what he wanted, but it was what it was advertised for. He told me that as it was loaded in the boot of the car. But anyway, you win some and you lose some, I suppose. We'll get down there with the snouty pliers and we'll give him a good scrub. Alright, let's get right down to the very bottom now. Oh. So I have a load of different brushes here, more over there, bottle brushes. This is an old toilet brush, and that is ideal for cleaning the wheel hubs on a Ferguson 35 135 Dexter. It goes straight in and it'll polish, it'll leave them perfect clean. Oh, just get a look down there and see, is it clean? Yep, she's starting to look good. But there is a little lad at the bottom there sticking up like a kind of a cone shape, and it helps dampen. So I just want to clean around that a little bit as well. Give it a good blow out with the air gun. Try and get that down in there as best I can. Give it a twist. Just loosen up out now. And leave them drip dry there. That's brilliant. Excellent. And sure, look, 90% of this work is cleaning. Actually great to give these boys a good clean. I'll give them a good metal polish then as well afterwards. And they'll probably need another bath then as well. And then when I have the head on the polish head on the Dremel, we'll give up there a good polishing up as well. It's just a little bit, as you can see there, a bit. We'll get that over it with the Dremel. Actually, go and do it now. Get it ready for action. Now these Dremels are game changing. It wouldn't be without them. So I have it in a little aluminium kind of a vise there, just to sit in it so I can roll it around. And we'll drop the camera a little bit there and give you a better look. Bit of metal polish. That probably is enough. Take a look and see. We might have to, just might have feel of it, might have to go again, but it's alright. Just to make it easier on the seal, tapping in. Yeah, it's just a little bit rough there. But I don't know, is that dirt or what? You can hit that with the soft wire brush and the Dremel anyway. And give it then go over. We'll get that over though, I'm not worried about that. I'll just quickly swap for the metal wire brush and we'll see if we can get that cleaned up. Right. Yeah, that's all it wants. And the rest of that then should, a bit there actually I think. Yeah, see if we can get that over. so here's the other seal holder. It's not in as good condition inside. It's you can see the coating, the chrome coating has kind of come off a bit inside, but it doesn't matter. We've left it soaking there. Penetrating oil, so just a chance to seal. See will it come out. A bit of a. There's the washer we need. So I've ordered them O-rings as well. You can just see a black O-ring there. So we'll make sure that they're the ones that come right before we go taking them out. I think that'll be the right thing to do. I think that washer just has to make its way over that O-ring. And the last one's took a little bit of a push. They'll go handy anyway. I think I ordered new ones of these as well. It is. He went through the parts manual there and just ordered any small little parts that I thought might need to be replaced. Yeah, that's fairly, it's kind of getting wedged a little bit compared to the other side. I don't want to bend it. Yeah, it's fairly tight now, so we won't go pushing too hard. Maybe the O-ring on the other one is more worn, was it? Yeah, it was. A lot more worn, and maybe that's why it let it out. So look, we'll leave it in. We probably can tap out the seal with it in until the parts arrive and we make sure that what we have is right. Yeah, that's our washer starting to move there anyway. Okay, so I'll give it a quick wipe and throw it in the bucket for the parts washer. Right. Same issue here. Yeah, you have to try and get onto the front lip. It's a bit hard to grip it. Yeah, so I'll come back when I have him whacked out and we'll give the same treatment as the other one. Parts washer and a bit of a polish up with the Dremel. This is a thought. This other one just was a bit more of a fight. We got it out in the end. Put it in the vise with a bit of cardboard underneath and plenty of rolled up rag around it there as well. So I have a feeling it'll just take a bit more work. I actually think the parts washer now is on the cards, but of course, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a bit of the heavy pitting off this one here because it is a little bit more, a little dirtier. You just get that lightly cleaned up. Especially down where the seal goes down there. This is a quick inspection, see what it's looking like now. Obviously it's just down where the seal goes is important. There's a machined lip there that's narrower diameter, but still at the same time it's nice to clean it all up. This side definitely got a lot more water in it, and one thing I noticed with these is there's no grease on them at all. That washer there, I'm going to leave that in until my new O-ring comes, and it's as hard as the hob of hell. And well, if the new one looks like the right size, I'll take it out then with a pick and take out that washer then as well. But parts washer for that, parts washer for the damper sleeve as well. It's mad how this is literally like a very cheap bit of plastic pipe. I think if you let it fall on the concrete floor, it's like something that would shatter to bits. So we'll try and keep that safe. And and we have to wash this out as well, so that'll get the same treatment. So apart from that, it's all fairly straightforward, so bring them over and give them a bath. Okay, hit the switch and get washing. What a gift of a tool. Look at the gunk coming out of that way. Now it's a lot clearer. That's looking spotless. But we'll still give it that bottle brush treatment as well. I must actually make a handle for this. Lovely. It has pushed a few bristles out in the brush, that's the only thing. That'll do. That doesn't really need it, and the washer doesn't need it either, so we'll let that drip, and then we're going to go and hit that with the Dremel. Get all of them threads cleaned up, tape it off, let them all drip dry. Job oxo. I didn't think it was going to stick to it as an amount of kerosene and stuff, but we gave it a wipe off. And these wire brushes, they're not they're not hard on metal. Shove that down in there, stop any dirt going down. Now, if I was to make a guess now, I'd say someone has used a bit of tread lock on that, because there's kind of chalky stuff around it there. At the bottom. Okay, good as new. Good as new, as new as new. Okay. Yeah. 110%. It's just a nice bit of resistance in the threads. Like you don't want them being too loose, especially towards the end. And look up and see, do you use thread lock on them? I've never heard of it personally, but we'll look it up. If that's what lads are doing, I'll do the same here. But that O-ring is definitely a little bit chewed there, and that's why that washer came out so, the kind of truss washer came out so easy. So it is on the part list there for replacing anyway. Okay, and so since we have this bit of clean paper, and I might just shove it in and out a few times there and just Give it a bit of a wipe out. Since we have a bit of tape beside us here, let's just go and make a bit of a mop, I suppose. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't, but I don't want to be going scratching around there if I can at all help it. And sure, it's like 95% of this work is just down to cleaning half, you know. I don't know as I don't do much now, but I can put a bit of a cotton earbud on the end of it for us anyway. Just help polish things a little bit without scratching. Things are fairly clean. So that's all right. I think, yeah, might just hit it with the air gun and see does anything else want to come out. I have a long fitting that goes onto this. You put a bottle on, and I might fit that on, and we'll see if we can just get the last bit of stuff out of that. Okay, so this is the gun. You screw on a bottle with your diesel or whatever carrots in it. Don't need that, we just want it because it's long and it goes nearly up to the end. That is going to, oh, it's spotless, lads. It is spotless. That's going to crown it now. I don't know, can that be seen down there? The light isn't great, but you can take my word for it, it's shiny. I'm happy with that. Okay, and the other side, we'll give it a rogering first. Happy with this little gantry I made up now. It's after working out well. Right, I'm going to hold her up to the light and see. Yeah, she is spotless as well. So, happy days. We'll get the other few parts now and see what condition they're in. Right. Oh, it's probably starting to fall asunder, is it? It did good enough now for what we wanted. Yeah, it's cleaning up a bit, alright. That little slot there that is for the tapping out the seal. There's just a bit of dirt in there. It's hard to beat compressed air now for that kind of game. That kind of a job now, it's ideal. Yeah, so that's probably ready to go as well. Do a quick job. Again, I just think there's probably a bit of some form of a tread lock on that at some point. So I'll look it up and see if that's what people do. That's what people do. That's the done thing, we'll do it. Just give them treads another little... I'm not going to bother taping it up. The last time it didn't actually hop on it. I presume this is an original fork leg. There's something about the old metal in them. Like even if this had a big hole rusted through it, you'd think bad of throwing it in the scrap pile. There's something about the old metal. It's just like the pistons of that Triumph there, they're up on the shelf there, and the conrods. Yeah, that's perfect. Those treads are A1 as well. As I said, we'll just wait and see what the O-ring that arrives, if it's going to fit, because I have heard of some people found that the ones that they ordered then didn't fit. That's screwing up lovely there anyway. So yeah, that's all good. We'll give these a good metal polishing, and just in case some of that dirt went in there because I didn't block it, let's give it a quick... They're all going to get a quick clean up before they're put together again anyway. This is just me just getting to know what we have here and what we're working with, that's all. Yeah, so the drain plugs I had loosened there, so I'll have a look and see is there a seal and washer on them. I think I'm going to have a look at that now because it's so much easier to be playing around with that when it's in the vise in front of you. And if it doesn't have a seal and washer, organise one for it. I know that was a strange imperial, something like an 11:30 seconds, I think. Yeah, 11:30 seconds. Let's get a quick look and see. I'd imagine we'd have to have some form of a seal and washer, unless the seal and washer is still on it. It actually is still on it, in which case it hasn't come off and it's lasted this long. So we'll just put back and leave good enough alone. But now is the time to be addressing all that. Otherwise, if you put in new fork oil, you had a leak there, it'd be bit of a shame. So that's going good. We played around with our I didn't show that, but I just cut the other bolt to length and I ran the threads down a little bit further in the end just to make sure that we could get this nipped up, because I want to make sure this can tighten up fully. I won't have to when the axle's going through it, because you can see it's nearly egg shaped there as it is. It's over tightened, but I wanted to make sure it was tightening up fully so that when we put the axle in, something else causing tightness wasn't making me think, we'll say, that it's bottomed out or it's tight enough. It's important that they're able to, suppose, tighten up fully for that reason, especially when your front axle is going through it. and they were good ones now. I'd say they were replaced. So we're all looking good. That the brakes then slide in there and it centralizes the brakes, positions the brakes for us. Treads on this side are a little bit tighter, but I like them being snug, obviously. So that is it. What I'll do is I'm going to pull out the new stanchions. I'm going to do a bit of a workbench tidy up here first, and we'll pull out the new stanchions, and we'll just have a look and see what's there and what's neat. What's I suppose for assembly we'll have a gander at what we have. We'll see, does this lad want to move? Castellated nut. So I do, as I said, I have the tool on the way, but I'm just going to give him a little tap because the other one came off handy enough. I think that's her there now. Lovely. That's going out lovely. We'll use the tool to put that back on, and we'll give him a dart in the parts washer there. So that's lovely. And this is now probably going to be repurposed into adding a bit of leverage when you're using a breaker bar or T-bar or something like that. I think sometimes with parts like these, you kind of keep them as a bit of a trophy. And there's a bit of work involved in taking them off, and you see the years of wear and tear, and you appreciate the material that's in them. It's hard to throw them in the scrap pile anyway. So I'll keep both of them. So what else have we got here? So the stanchions again, Keen Noah. We've two new stanchions here. We've upper bushes, lower bushes. They are roller taper bearings for the headstock or yoke, or plenty of different words for them. And I also picked up these with the kind of clips to go around the gaiters. I actually ordered new ones. These are probably fairly good, but they're a little bit perished here and there. So for the sake of a couple of euro, we're going to replace them. The springs here and the spring abutment. A little bit of a dent in that there actually, which is stopping it going on 100% square. Look at that, it's just a little bit. So I might do a little job on that, just tap him out, because I didn't order a new one of them. Looking in there, yeah. Don't think it's right. Is it? Should be fairly flat. Yeah. So that there. Okay. What's the best way of knocking a curve out of something when you're going to be hitting it with something flat? Hit it with something curved. Wouldn't that be the thing to do? Yeah, I get a heavy round object. Will we be able to do something with it? Don't know. Hitting it with a punch isn't going to do much good anyway. It's going to be hard to hold it now. There's two fairly bad dents in it there. I want to get them out. I don't know how hard it is. I don't want to go breaking it. Don't want to hold it that way. I might hold it length sideways. Let's see, I might just hold it enough for me. Do a bit of a job on it. No. It's going to be hard to hold that now. This is fairly hard there, but then it goes soft. So I suppose if I hit it that way, at least it's not going to go down the vise. We'll just do a bit of shaping on it with a small hammer and small little punch. Try and get a bit of shape back in it. Bit of a shape, and then when we get the spring into it, we'll be able to tap anything back in if we have to. But I don't think it has to be that fussy, but I don't like the dent in it anyway, especially when they're that big. Ah, yeah. Just a bit of tinkering, that's all it wants. Yeah, it's starting to look a bit better there now. There we are. That's all I wanted. It's looking a bit rounder now. Spring abutment. So that's one. Have a look at that one there. That one's perfect. There's no need for tinkering that at all. Make sure everything's just similar. See, they're similar height as well. Seem to be fairly similar. Yeah, I don't think there's any alarm bells there. There's our new seals there as well from TMS in Nottingham. We could go and fit them. There's no panic. That is a job we can do. So that is where we're at. So I think the next job is going to be fitting seals, waiting for parts to come then, washers and all of that. And then if I get everything done before the parts arrive, which I most likely will, I'm going to take this mudguard. I haven't actually looked underneath at all yet. Okay, so it's not too bad. I'll give it a good cleaning down. And what I'm going to do is, after it's cleaned down, I'm going to, whether it's the done thing or not, I'm going to clear varnish it. I'm going to put a lot of varnish on, clear varnish on it under there. I might take this off as well and just give myself a clean sweep there, a straight run, and varnish the hell out of it. And that'll definitely, the brake cable was rubbing there, so we'll have to do a bit of rerouting there. And we'll give it a bit of a clean off and a bit of a spruce up. The bracket was rubbing there as well, isn't it? A bit of dirt. It's not too bad, it's actually fairly. There's a bit of pitting there, so we might just do a bit of taping off here and actually run a rim of clear varnish, literally tape off a bit, and in a couple of mil, and actually run a whole rim of it and just keep painting and painting until it builds up. It might stand out a little bit, but I think it'll be a lot better than I might touch that, the likes of them up there with a bit of red and mix red and black so I get the red dark enough. Just touch it up. We'll do a few things of that just to future proof it. Get plenty of varnish in behind all them seams there. Where things are rubbing and stuff there. And yeah, I think that's going to be a nice little project. This part here doesn't seem to need a whole lot. We'll give nuts and bolts a bit of a polish up on the wire wheel and the drill, and it's about all it's going to need. If we want to be fussy, there's some black enamel paint there. Give it a touch up here and there. just to keep the rust off it. But that's where we're going to be going next, so we'll try and just keep a video on the mudguard and brackets there separate. But yeah, since we're still at this, we just try a seal for a fit, and then we can call it a day then. I don't like doing too much for fear I overlook something or forget to do something. I think it really is just a matter of tapping in the seals, and because we're looking for it to keep oil, yeah, spring to the oil, isn't that what they say? But when I was taking these out, I was looking at the rubber. Spring to the oil, yeah, that's it, yeah, I think, isn't it? I'd have to look back at a video and just, so that's at the top there, and we were looking at that spring to the oil. Okay, it's just going against my intuition, but I'm fairly sure that's the way they were when I took them out. But I'm going to look at a video, because my dad sent me a video, so I'm going to refresh my memory there and go ahead then and tap that in. Okay, so my memories are fresh now, so that goes in that way. I'm going to use the old washer to throw down on top of it till the new one comes, just to help seat the seal. .36 socket. Make sure it's all going in fairly straight. It's not really. Important that goes in straight. This is the rough one, so I'll try and just get it in a bit straighter. Keep an eye on it. Good. The washer wants to come out. Yeah. Okay. That's looking like it's home. Okay. It's looking good. That is just about right, I'd say. Yeah. Job box. That's one done. Okay. And another one. Run the finger around to make sure it's not proud anywhere. 100%. That is a thing of beauty. That's where we'll leave it for this evening. And we'll return when we have parts, or when we go at the mudguards. that's where we're going to leave it. So I'll catch you in the next one.